ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about Vinland Saga. And I really like this episode. I feel like we had previous episodes, especially with the one with nightmares with Thorfinn, the one last week with Canute. They were very impactful, serious episode. Very major things happened in them, but I kind of feel like this one was more important, but in a different way, especially for Thorfinn, seeing something else than the life he knew with just war, always fighting, and the bromance, the relationship, the friendship that is starting between Thorfinn and Einar. Especially the last scene was so wholesome seeing it, and also get to see some more of the other characters. So this was quite a important episode, so let's get into it and talk about it. Now at the beginning we have Einar and Thorfinn fighting the raid boss, a tree stump, trying to get it out, struggling quite a lot, and it's very heavy. If you ever had to get a tree stump out, it's insane if you do it just with manpower and without machines, or in the case with what they needed here was a horse, and they really needed a horse very badly. But of course we have the retainers, the asshole always refusing to help, even lending them a horse, still treating them as shit. I do hope at some point they're gonna get what's coming to them. I really hope somebody's gonna give them a slap. Maybe Snake. I kinda like Snake quite a lot, even more after this episode. I feel like he's my spirit animal. But we're gonna get to Snake also. Now Einar and Thorfinn, I feel like they complement each other so well, especially Einar with him being so energetic, so motivated, as opposed to Thorfinn kind of being on autopilot, lack of motivation, even commenting on this when Einar telling, hey, where is more motivation for our freedom? We need to do this, we need to do more. I really like Einar quite a lot. He's probably my favorite character in season 2, and Snake is also getting up there, but they have to figure out a way to get a horse, and this is where we finally get introduced to the old man that was with Snake when we first saw Snake last few episodes ago, with Sverkel. Kind of makes them offer they can't refuse. And I kind of like him. He's this jaded old guy. Makes them a deal with, you do the chores, you get a horse. I'm gonna lend you a horse, but you have to bring it back and also do the chores at the same time. Makes them take out rocks from fields, chop wood, help around the house with everything. So they finally figured out their solution. But this old guy is a very important guy, and we're gonna get to him. Now they finally get the horse, makes removing the tree stumps much easier. Einar being very excited. I feel like his laugh is so contagious, honestly. Just feeling the emotion, the facial expression, even the voice actor does an amazing job. You see how happy he is considering his situation. This is why I like Einar quite a lot, being excited with everything. From here we see the way this was a very important episode for Thorfinn, talking with Einar, learning about farming, not knowing anything about it, this new life, always being used to war, fighting, being on the battlefield. Even Einar was shocked when he learned that there were no farms from where Thorfinn is, and yeah, discovering a whole new world would probably have a huge impact on Thorfinn, and this is why I like this episode quite a lot. And slowly kind of becomes one of my favorite episodes, at least so far. It's more emotional episode than previous one, considering the hardships that Thorfinn has suffered through his entire life up to this point, and probably into the future also. But also have the retainers again showing up. Where did you get this horse? But they slowly realize they got it from Sverkel. Finally clicked in their heads who Sverkel is, and is the old master. He's Kettle. And finally find out the name of the master. I don't know if they ever said it before, but Kettle being the guy that owns Thorfinn and Einar, with his father Sverkel, the old guy that lent them the horse. He's the most important man on the farm here, and he helps them quite a lot, even lends them a plow somehow. Of course they have to take their time with it, take care of it, because they are very expensive. Considering back then it's probably one of the most expensive things you can have on a farm, and this is where the spark happens with Thorfinn being more curious about farming, learning, and Einar being there helping him, but also calling him an overgrown baby, which is a very good comparison. He's kind of like a fish on land, in a way, not knowing anything, this new world in front of him, kind of bullying him a bit. Einar, I hope the overgrown baby nickname is gonna stick. They take care of the farming, they see how much they can do with the tools they have there, but they have to stop also because of the rain. And this is where we see the relationship with Ketil and his father Sverkel. He was there to try to get him to take care of his health. They even find out that Snake at some point helped him when he collapsed. They start bickering a bit. They don't really get along that well, but they still care about each other. You have Ketil being kind of like his father in a way, but also very different than his father, and Sverkel being this jaded old dude. Also has some wisdom, and we're gonna get to that wisdom there. Now, at the same time they were bickering, Thorfinn and Einar waiting outside. Yeah, we can't go in. That was a nice moment there, and even Ketil says him, and you can do everything you want. These are my my slaves, but he still left them there. So I'm really curious the relationship. I kind of want to see more of Ketil. They kept talking about him. I'm really happy we got to see more of the characters in the farm in this episode, and we even have Sverkel letting Einar and Thorfinn inside. And to Einar's shock, he sees Snake in there sleeping. Even commenting that he slept through that entire argument between the other two. Which, this is why I like Snake quite a lot. At the first sign of food, he just wakes instantly smelling the food. Starts bickering with Sverkel because he only eats. Sverkel telling him you don't really do anything, you only eat. I really like the bickering between them. But what I appreciated quite a lot was Snake treated Einar and Thorfinn as equals in a way. They're even inviting them to eat at the table, like between them. Even Sverkel agreed with that. We'll find out more of what Snake and his band they're protecting from thieves, even though I really like Sverkel making that comment. Well, what we lose to thieves, it's kind of about what we pay you, so it balances out. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but I like Sverkel and Einar bickering so much in this episode. Einar got a bit curious there, and even after that, Sverkel making the comment there, Nordic man, we see some of the weapons there hanging on the walls, but they're also in a precarious position, so to say. Sverkel thinks they can protect the farm even without Snake, but maybe from thieves, but not even then. But what if somebody else attacks them, maybe with 50-60 men, how Snake put it. And the comment he asked there, Thorfinn, hey, am I right, Thorfinn? He knows that Thorfinn has a history, a backstory. I'm curious what his reaction is going to be when he finds out who or what exactly Thorfinn is capable of. Thorfinn didn't really answer, he kind of dodged that question a bit. We also see how the farm is so safe because of King Harald. Keeps them safe because he accepts quite a big tribute from Ketil. And yeah, that kind of explains why this farm is so safe and peaceful. But what I really liked here was Sverkel's comments. He being jaded with wealth, doesn't really like how Ketil, his son, looks at money, and made a very meta comment, so to say, saying fear of money. The more you have, the more you want, and you're also fearful of losing it. So kind of greed with the way, and this causes people to be greedy people, and you know what comes of that. And I really appreciated that comment from Sverkel. And we have Snake going to his job to patrol. He still bickers a bit with Sverkel there, but I appreciated this, seeing more of Snake, more of Sverker, more of Ketil, seeing Thorfinn discovering this new world, as with just knowing war and fighting and the battlefield. And even after that, him commenting that he learned quite a lot of things today, despite Einar still calling him an overgrown baby. I hope that nickname is gonna stay. And the comments that Sverkel made stayed with him. Too much wealth staying on his mind. We see a bit of, I think they had a time skip there, maybe a few months. Them planting seeds, both of them with beards there. And this was probably my favorite moment from the entire episode, with Einar telling him, hey, do more plant, just throw some more. Are you sure that's okay? Just trust your friend, Einar told him. And Thorfinn, the reaction that Einar had when Thorfinn questioned them being friends, he was very we're friends, right? And Thorfinn just smiled, and the episode ends with him saying we're friends. So yeah, I really liked that quite a lot, seeing them becoming more and more friends, bonding each other, this beautiful bromance friendship we're gonna have here. Thorfinn never really had a proper actual friend, and let alone a family. He lost his father, his mother and sister. He never really got in touch with them after he left to get his revenge. ARESxGOD was more of an father slash enemy. That was a really weird, amazing relationship they had there, but it's by no means family or friendship what was between ARESxGOD and Thorfinn. Leif wasn't really there, always very very little. So yeah, this is probably one of the most important relationship in Thorfinn's life. So yeah, this episode was very important for the story and for the characters, especially for Thorfinn. But I'm really curious what you guys thought about it. What do you think about the life on the farm? It's much slower than other episode or compared to season 1, but I like it in a different way as opposed to season 1. I feel like it develops the characters a lot more. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought about the episode or the series so far. What do you think of Sverkel, Snake and Kettle? They got a bit more screen time this episode. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot. You guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Vinland Saga, and make sure you check out the podcast, and we're friends. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye bye.